This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena. And folks, here we are, September 24th, 2021. Although my guest is still stuck in the 23rd. Yeah, he just can't catch up. He just can't catch up. But we're here early yay hours, 1:30 in the morning here in Fredericton, New Brunswick. And I'm celebrating 100 guests for 2021. Last year, of course, I had 30 interviews, and then the pandemic lockdown hit. And Nancy McLaughlin of Jason Lives said, if I can do Zoom, you can do Zoom. Well, here we are, my guest today, my 100th guest of 2021, Mr. Joe Castro. How do you do, Joe?
Good morning or good evening, wherever you are. Yeah, I'm doing good today.
Well, it's
How
good
you
evening
doing?
where you are.
How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing fantastic. Of course, this is your second time on here, and I'm happy to say that we're both involved in a project or two. So both have our names on a couple projects at least that's got both our names on it, and I'm very honored,
Remind me which ones those are. There's been so many since in the past year.
Well, I'm actually thinking of one off the top of my head, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're on another. But It Wants Blood. Our names are both on that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, I had James Balsamo on for the third time. I think it was last week. And he sent me a picture that as proof that he sent my Blu-ray of It Wants Blood.
Oh, so excellent.
I saw the rough cut, and the rough cut was indeed rough. And that was before there was two creatures in it. And before Lita get in it. So now I'm going to see the full cut, and I'm looking forward to it. I think this, from what I've seen, may be the most ambitious picture I've seen James Balsamo do. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I think it is probably James's best picture to date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it played at the Chinese theater, and I'm like, I'm being watched on television by Eric Roberts in two scenes in that. And now I'm playing on the Chinese theater. And I didn't even have to leave here. It's kind of funny. Technology working.
Yeah. It definitely is powerful.
Well, when I saw the rough cut, it was just the elephant/snake creature in it. Now there's another creature in it. Now I'm interested to see how he patches this into the film, because I feel like I only saw half a screenplay.
Yeah, the script is the two creatures do change the script a lot. The first one is the Natoto is the first creature,
Mm-hmm.
the one that you spoke of, and then the other ones I'm looking up here. I'm looking up. Bill reminded me the name of the Zowazo. So Zowazo is the name of the second character that I made.
Okay.
Yeah, the Natoto and the Zowazo. Yeah, kind of a bird, half man creature. So, but yeah, no, it's a very touching story. To me, it's a tale about two creatures, and that are controlling two men, and the final cut of the film I think is very entertaining, and everybody involved should be very proud of the work that was done on the film. Yeah,
I'm just worried that the final cut of the film is going to have more James Balsamo nudity. I'm like, please spare us.
I don't know what cut you saw or what was in it, but
I don't know. I don't even know if it was that film, but I see. I cameo in 9 of his movies, and I've seen
Okay.
3 of them. And he gets busy with the ladies more than once, and I'm like, the charms of being a director. Now, out of those 2 creatures, which one's your favorite?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't think I have a favorite between the two. I think they're both very unique creatures. And I probably would have to say the second one, the one that Bill, the one that Bill acts with more, because it has it's more of my interpretation of the creature. There's more of me in that creature. And I think it's a little more touching. It has a little bit more heart in it. I think when you see the film, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, it hasn't arrived here. Yeah, otherwise I would present it here. But man, I'm looking forward to getting my Blu-ray in the mail so I can watch that. And of course, there was a signing at Dark Delicacies, I guess. And so I messaged James and I asked if I could get my Blu-ray signed, and I sent him some money by PayPal to
Uh,
take care of the expenses. And I guess his signature's on it, Bill's signature's on it, um, um, Craig Muckler and Brink Stevens. So,
Excellent.
yep.
Yeah, yeah.
But they
I
should
ha
have had you there.
Oh, it was an honor to be a part of the project, and I would have been an honor to be there, to do a signing of the DVD. I have oh, I was gonna screen share a
Hmm.
picture of both creatures. You want to give me a permission to share?
Sure, go ahead.
Go ahead. But it says you've disabled the participant screen
Oh,
sharing.
did I?
Yeah.
Okay,
Can
just a
you can
minute.
can you enable it? That way people know exactly what we're talking about.
So I just press multiple participants can share.
I think so. No, it still says it probably has to be something done. Oh, here we go. There we
There
go.
we go.
There, can you see that? Yeah,
Oh, I can see that now.
that's
That creature in the middle. Oh no, that's Craig Muckler. Oh, what am I talking about?
I keep telling Craig we're gonna make a movie. We need to make a movie together. Hopefully, maybe Craig will finally get the itch to make a movie with me. I have my own special ideas I'd like to do with him, and but both these creatures were very unique, and but I think there's a little bit more of me, of the one that looks a little more human. James gave me a specific design for both of them. The first creature, I stuck to it very closely to what he gave me because it was for the movie poster. And then the second one, he came to me and I asked him if I could make it a little more human. I said I wanted to make it a little more have a little more relatable to humans, so that way people would care about it, and kind of change the eyes a little bit, kind of change the shape of the face a little bit, and to made it a little more lovable. So yeah,
Oh, I've got to say a big criticism here because they're nowhere near as scary looking as Craig.
yeah.
Craig was on my show back in January, and that interview went 4 hours and 8 minutes. So that
Oh
guy
wow.
just kept talking and kept having stories. I like Craig though.
Craig's a very sweet man.
Yeah.
And yeah, very sweet man. Anyways, yeah,
Wow, that's great. I gotta
I'm gonna stop
say,
that.
between the two, I kind of like the first creature.
Like the first creature.
Maybe
Okay,
it's because I like snakes.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yep,
Okay. Yeah.
yep. But no, I like that. I love your design work on those creatures. It
Thank you.
kind of brings back vibes of Ray Harryhausen, who was he's a big fan of growing up. So what was?
That's it. I just want to say, Greg, that
Yep.
is a complete honor and a privilege to have you say that, to have you mention my work and Ray Harryhausen in the same sentence. I as I move through life, the older I get, I understand that everything that I create has somehow, originated in something that was implanted in me as a young person,
Hmm.
and and each time I create something, I feel like I get a little well, I mean, obviously I get a little older, but it seems like I become more of the man that I've always wanted to be, you know. And so each time I finish a creature, I look in the mirror and I go, oh, I feel like I've gotten a lot older. Like each time I accomplish a portion of my dream, I feel like I get a lot older, even if it's only been like 3 weeks or a month or
No,
whatever. And
that's just working with James.
yeah, you, you know,
You know what? I've
yeah.
done 3 tributes on Ray Harryhausen. John Walsh was on here, who worked closely with Ray, and we celebrated the 40th anniversary of Clash of the Titans, which is still
Okay.
a favorite of mine.
I
You
have
know,
an amazing story to tell you about Clash of the Titans.
okay.
Okay. So first of all, I was 12 years old when I saw Clash of the Titans in the movie
Hmm.
theater.
Hmm.
Actually I think I was 10 in 1980, right? 1980 or 80,
81.
81. Okay. So I was 11. I was 11 years old when it came out. And I had a chance to go. My partner was won an Emmy for outstanding editing and reality television programming, so we had a chance to go to the Entertainment Tonight Emmy party, and Harry Hamlin was there with his wife.
Hmm.
And Clash of the Titans was a huge influence on me, and so I had to go up and say hello to him when I saw him, and my partner was there holding the Emmy, so I kind of having holding an Emmy kind of gives you permission to like kind of you can talk to whoever you want, you can go. So I took turns holding it. It was my partner's, but of course I took turns holding it. And I went over to Harry and I said, I said, I said, hello, Harry. He said, hello. And I said, my name's Joe. And, I grew up watching Clash of the Titans, and it was probably one of the biggest influences in my career as a young man. And then I had to tell him, I said, look, I'll be honest with you. When I was 11 years old, all I wanted to do was grow up and marry you. That was like a complete dream of mine, and his face turned beet red. And but never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be able to talk with Harry Hamlin and just be brutally honest in a very professional, kind way. But it's true. It's like growing up a young gay male in Helotes, Texas, alone. I literally had no idea there was another gay person in the entire world, because I grew up in a town, the population 1,800, and I had no idea there was not even another gay person in the entire world when I was 11 years old. In fact, I didn't even know there was another gay person until I saw Boy George sing "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me" on MTV.
Hmm.
And and so being able to go up to Harry and tell him that basically he knew that what I was really trying to say was, this man's career helped me get through the terror and trials of my childhood. And he had no idea how he did. He understood the impact that his career had on my life.
It's
And
funny what you said to Harry Hamlin. I could have said the same thing to Ursula Andress in that film. She was well cast to play Aphrodite, I'll tell you that.
oh yeah. So that like, I will never forget that moment in time. And he was so kind to me afterwards. We had a big conversation about how they were remaking Clash of the Titans, and I asked him if he was a part of it. He said no, he wasn't a part of it. I said, oh, they've already made a mistake right there. We had a big
I
laugh.
hated the remake.
It was
I
just
absolutely hated it.
it's his own modern version of it, but there's something so touching about the first film.
Hmm.
You just cannot duplicate. It's just everything, the whole adventure through the landscape to get to Medusa's lair and then return back. It's just, you can't duplicate that with what they did. And anyways, but
I
yeah, that's a
actually,
great film.
I actually got a Medusa figurine over there. But
Yeah, that was a great one.
yeah, yeah, I love Clash of the Titans. I think my second favorite of Harryhausen movies was The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. And speaking of crushes, Caroline Monroe, who I had on the show here, and I rated her right up there with Grace Kelly, and one of the most beautiful women I ever seen. So, Yeah, Kara. Yeah, I just got some mail from her not too long ago too. So, but so did Harry Hamlin have his invisible helmet and his sword that slices through marble?
This was a true, Hollywood a party. It was actually put on by Entertainment Tonight. It was an amazing evening, and it's just one of those moments that you'll never, that when you get to experience, you just never forget. I mean, I've been to the Emmys 4 times with my partner. Of course,
Hmm.
I was never nominated. He was been nominated 4 times, and he had one win. And each time, it's like it's a fairy tale. Really is a beautiful experience. And yeah, so yeah, but yeah, we should talk about Terror Tunes. We should talk about my film Terror Tunes. We're getting ready to release part 4. This is the franchise that I own with my partner, and we made the first one in 2021, and we shot the fourth one at on the 20-year anniversary, literally the exact same weekend that was shot 20 years earlier, and we shot this year, and it's amazing. It's going to be an amazing sequel. It's going to be an amazing film, and I'm going to have the Kickstarter campaign up again on my Facebook page if anybody wants to reach out to me, and if you want to still, you can still be a part of it. But yeah, Brink Stevens makes her directorial debut in the film,
Okay.
and she also stars in the picture, and she wrote a portion of the picture. And Brink is one of my all-time favorite people in the entire world.
I want to get her on here, and she turned me down, and
Uh,
I would have loved to have had her on here.
well, you maybe you ask her again, and I don't know what's going on. She's a very busy lady. She's in demand, always in demand. And but yeah, Brink's in it. Linnea Quigley's in the film.
I've
Billy
had
but
her on. Yep.
Billy Butler is in the movie. Billy Butler from the color remake of Night of the Living Dead, and
Hmm.
Friday the 13th Part 7, and
Hmm.
so many movies. And let's see who else is in the movie. Just an amazing talented group of people. Uh, but I don't, have you had a chance to see any of them?
You know what? I have not, and here's part of the problem: is my television's just set up to watch my Blu-rays. Like I don't have television.
Okay.
Now, maybe when my brother and sister-in-law and I have our own place, which is on hold due to the pandemic and our parents being terminally ill, it just hasn't come to fruition.
I see.
Although I did get to check out one of your other films, which I'm going to bring up momentarily.
Okay.
So I got one here, sitting right
Okay.
here, that I'm going to showcase. But what my appetite for Terror Tunes, because you say there's 4 of them.
There's
What are they
4 of them.
about?
Well, Terror Tunes, let me see.
Hmm.
Terror Tunes is literally about the devil makes these evil cartoons that can, when you view the DVD of the film, if you press the wrong button, they will literally come to life and come out of the TV and kill you. So it's kind of, people think it's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, kind of like 2D animation in the 3D world, but it's not. It's literally 3-dimensional cartoon characters in the real world killing you in a kind of like cartoon ways. Now the fourth one is I try to never make the same movie twice.
Okay.
So each film is its own it's its own story, and yeah, and each one has its own even its own kind of like style. And I was going to bring up some images here. And then also, if you have never if you've never seen them, and you have Blu-ray,
Hmm.
it's good reason, because
Are they on Blu-ray?
they're not on Blu-ray,
Oh,
but they will be on Blu-ray. We're going to release this quadrilogy, and it's going to be all 4 Terror Tunes, and that's coming out this Christmas.
Okay, can I
Yeah.
get the quadrilogy on Blu-ray signed by you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the quadrilogy will have all 4 films, and there's actually one. We have Terratoons 1, Terratoons 1.5, Terratoons 2, Terratoons 3, and Terratoons 4 will be on it. And yeah, so this is this main character here that you see on the front. That's from
Hmm.
the original Terratoons. His name is Dr. Carnage, and he's
Okay.
well, he's like one of the evil cartoon characters that the devil makes to basically to torment and kill all the souls all over the world. Children. He basically it's a very stylized cult film, and if you've never seen it, you've never seen anything like it. And if you watch it for the first time, you understand why. Now, people, directors and filmmakers have tried to duplicate it without, infringing on our copyrights, but they've
Hmm.
never actually successfully been able to do it because it's such a unique cult film. I've never seen anybody do anything like it before. So if you get a chance, check it out. It's on Vimeo right now. You can get Vimeo on Vimeo. You can get part 1 and part 2 as a double feature for one price, and part 3 is there as well. But yeah, you can see Terratoons 1, 2, and 3 on Vimeo, and it's not for everybody, and I understand that.
I think it's for me.
It's not for everybody because it's so crazy. It's so outrageous. There's some really outrageous stuff in the film. I wish I had some video clips I could play for you. Let me see. Anyways, but each time each time we make a sequel, the first movie, Terratoons,
Uh-huh.
we shot the entire movie in 3 days, and we shot the movie for $2,300.
Okay.
And I did it intentionally. I did it on purpose because back in the day, like back in like the 50s and 60s, when they were making science fiction films or these like low budget movies back in Hollywood by independent like producers would make these low budget movies for the drive-in theaters. They would shoot movies in 2 and 3 days,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah,
You had I just looking at you had Herschel Gordon Lewis in the third one.
yeah, Herschel Gordon Lewis was the star of the third film. That's correct. Yep. Yep. I have here, let's see what I have here. I have here a clip. Let me see. I'm gonna open this. And here is a clip of this is an example of how the cartoons kill the characters of the film using cartoon ways or cartoon like deaths.
Okay.
Okay. And these are the 2 evil characters here. And this is from the first film.
Yeah.
There you go. So you kind of get the idea. Let me stop that. So basically, it's very unique. It's these cartoon killers, and they kill you using cartoon things, but you die for real, and it's very bloody.
And I
And
notice Beverly Lynn and Lizzie Borden's been in more than one here.
yes, Beverly Lynn and Lizzie Borden. Those are both the 2 leads from the first film, and Lizzie Borden's been in all 4 of them. Actually, she wasn't in part 2, but she was in part 1 and part 3 and part 4. And Beverly was in part 1 and part 3. Part 3 is supposed to be a direct sequel to part 1, but it goes off on its kind of this weird, the fever dream tangent. Basically when I made we made part 1 in 3 days. We shot it over Easter weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, we shot it over Easter weekend in 3 days. We shot the first day. Was like a regular like 12-hour day, and the second day we shot was a 17-hour day, and then the third day we shot was a 25-hour day when we shot it. And when we were done. I wanted, I basically, when we made the film, I said, I asked my friend, my boss, if I could have $2,500 to make a film, and he said, "What are you gonna do with $2,500?" I said, "We're gonna shoot it just like the way we used to shoot movies back in the day. They would shoot one take. And if they messed up the take, they would not redo the take over again. They would push in and shoot the rest of the take in a closer shot. So you would just cut to another angle. And that's the way they used to do it, because it was film and it was very expensive. So they would shoot, they would do basically a one take wonder is what it's called. So we would only shoot like one, maybe two takes if I really needed it, and then move forward. And then the second time when I made part two, we shot the movie in 7 days, and the budget was like 5 times the amount.
Well, I noticed you got Linnea Quigley, Brink Stevens, and Debbie Rushon for that.
For the third one or the
Wow.
fourth one. Yeah, they're in the fourth one, and Billy Butler. Yeah,
Yeah.
is in it. There's a lot of people in it. There's a lot of people that are, Sherry Davis is in it. I see Michael Stack. There's a new director. His name is Matthew Vanaha, who co-directs the film with me and Brink. You got Lizzie in it, and did I say Brink already? And there's quite a cast of characters in the fourth one. Thomas Rivas, Ozzy Capri. Let me see. Good gosh. Anyways, G. Larry Butler's in it, and the list goes on and on and on. But the reason I bring up the amount of time it took me to make the films is when we produced the third film, it took me almost 8 years to make it. I shot Herschel's stuff many, many years before the movie was actually released. So I literally, and Herschel's responsible for all the wraparound stuff in the film, because it's kind of an anthology film. There's 2 stories going on. There's a story of Herschel, and then Herschel tells a story, and we call it Herschel's gory story in part 3. And so, I had 8 years to like do all kinds of crazy stuff. The third one is basically, if you like special effects and you like micro budget films, the third one is kind of like a wet dream for independent cinephiles, because it's basically a 75-minute special effect shot. And I actually went to school here in Burbank, a school called Video Symphony, which was a 4-year college that they did in 11 months to learn CGI. So I could do some computer generated effects for part 3. And we try to do both practical and digital in it. I did all kinds of stuff with stop motion animation. We have miniatures in it, and just a little bit of everything. Like I said, it took us 8 years to produce the film and put it out. And so it was. I don't know if I could ever make that kind of movie again. It was just. It was, sometimes we would. My partner Steven Escobar and I, we produced and made the film ourselves. Sometimes we would spend an entire week just setting up one shot, because it was a miniature in the backyard, and then we would do like one take, on the weekend. There's like a scene in the film where there is the evil character of part 3 is a giant blob of human body parts mixed in a soup, so it's kind of like the Blob, right? Like moving around everywhere. And I needed to do a shot of this, basic blob of blood, like basically rushing across the wilderness landscape, chasing somebody. And we set up a huge miniature in the backyard and had this giant trash can full of Kool-Aid and water. I needed to look like blood. I needed like a lot of it. And we put we built this giant miniature set in the backyard of like the woods. And we took a fish tank and we put a GoPro camera inside the fish tank to shoot the blob of water rushing at the camera. And we just dumped out this. We spent a week setting up the shot so that way we could dump out that big thing of water and get one take. And but there's a lot of good, cool stuff like that in the film. There's a lot of fun stuff. We just spared no expense to get the vision out of our heads to make it exactly the way we wanted it. There's even a shot in the film I wanted because the lead villain in the film is he's like basically a deranged mad scientist. And there's a scene where he's in a hospital, an actual hospital, and he's driving an ambulance down the corridor of the hospital, running patients over. It's like, how do you do that? How do you do that? And I didn't want to do it digitally. I wanted to do it somehow. That's the magic of doing these micro budget films. You can get away with anything if especially if you do it practical. People love that. So we built a miniature hospital hallway, and we got like a little toy ambulance, like the kind like a kid would have, the one that sings that head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And I CG'd his image. I CG'd the actual actor in the suit onto the front of the ambulance window, but we were able to get a shot of that actual practical ambulance driving down hospital hallway and running people over, running patients over, stuff like that. So yeah, we spent 8 years doing the third one, and it's taken us 10 years to do the fourth one. We've literally spent 10 years producing the fourth film. We actually shot part 3 and part 4, portions of part 4 at the same time. And now we're wrapping up the end of part 4. And we did an Indiegogo campaign this past year to produce the film, doing it exactly the way we always wanted it to be. We worked with these micro budgets at the beginning when we first made the first film. And by the time we got to the third or the fourth one, we rented an actual studio. We had name talent in the film, and we just did it exactly the way we wanted it to do it. I think it's going to be beautiful. I'm really proud of the piece. So I'm looking forward to presenting to the world, and I will absolutely love to get your take on it. And yeah, I think it'll be a great quadrilogy. It'll be one of those things where if people want to sit down and watch all 4 of them at once, it would be an amazing evening. Yeah.
Yeah, you got my attention with it. Now, why haven't you got James Balsamo in these? I mean, you'd think that he'd be right.
He's gonna. Yeah, no, we still. I still have 1 day of pickups left to do, and like when you do an Indiegogo campaign and you are trying to make a film. First of all, like I said, I never make the same film twice. So I'm trying to make this amazing film, and I'm having to now incorporate these people into certain roles, and satisfy their perks and all that stuff. It's like an amazing challenge. I mean, my hat's off to everybody that successfully does an Indiegogo campaign where people buy perks and everybody's happy.
Is it still going on?
Well, we did the main shoot of the main principal photography shoot, and all that was very successful. But we're getting ready to do one more push for and allow the fans and people that want to be in the film to be CGI'd into these different sequences that I have. There's some torture sequences where the mad doctor is literally performing science experiments on people, and there'll be sequence in the opening credit sequence. And in fact, all 3 films, the previous films, have these opening animated sequences, and everybody will have a chance to be in the opening animated sequences. And that'll happen. Hopefully by the middle to the end of October, we're going to release the teaser, and then we'll wrap up the campaign, and people will be able to be a part of the fourth one. And I'm thinking the fourth one's probably going to be the last one, because I don't know if I have another 10 years left in me to do a part 5. And I have a lot of other things I want to do.
Well, you did get Linnea Brink and Rashawn. So, yeah. I mean, what was it like working with those 3?
These women are amazing. Okay. They're more than just actresses. These women are, they represent everything wonderful about what we do. They make people feel inclusive, loved, and a part of something greater than themselves. And they do it with a smile. They use their star power to make other people feel good about themselves. And that says a lot about someone. This world is an amazing place with them in it. That's all I have to say. And I am so grateful and honored to have been able to, create something with them. Debbie, beautiful, amazing, talented actress, and Linnea, it's just a heart of gold. I mean, when she's on front of the camera, it's like magic and money. And then Brink, I mean, just I can't describe in words how talented and beautiful that woman is. I don't know if you know this, but I met her when I was 15 years old. I won National Special Effects contest that was put on by Forrest J. Ackerman. Are you familiar with who Forrest J. Ackerman is? Did we talk about it the last time we were on?
We
Forrest,
might have.
Forrest J. Ackerman is the man that coined the phrase sci-fi.
Hmm.
He actually invented that terminology. And Forrest J. Ackerman was the very first sci-fi groupie. Hey there.
Skittles.
Look at that. So yeah, Forrest J. Ackerman had a magazine called Monsterland Magazine, and he put on a national contest. You had to be under the age of 17 to enter. So it was like even playing ground, right? And people from all over the United States entered this contest to win this special effects makeup contest, and I won the contest, and I was flown out to Los Angeles, and I got to meet Brink, who was one of the special perks of winning this national contest. And I was 15 years old, and I became I became her. I consider her family. I became her friend, and I usually Brink in every one of my films, and it's just a special a moment for me to be able to work with Brink just continuously and have her be a part of my life and be a part of hers. She lives like a mile from me, less than a mile from me. So I really do consider her family. Yeah.
I've had actually used Skittles, my cat, in one of my James Balsamo cameos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoy working with James. James has a style all on his own, and there's something special about what he does that no one else can do. And he's really given me an opportunity to make some really cool things. That's all, and that's what I have to say about James. And I look forward to seeing more of his work, because as we all continue to hone our craft as artists, and we do get better when we do that, I'm sure he's got some amazing things to show us.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, I cameo in 9 of his films. I've seen 3 rough cuts.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to It Wants Blood for sure. So when that arrives, I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I'll have to say is I went to the premiere, and everybody was very, very entertained with the film. And I did see a rough cut of the film that I think was only like 50 minutes long.
Mhm.
And the final cut of the film is it's just not the same film. I'm not going to say it's way better. It's just not the same film, because it has another 45 minutes added to it. It's just a whole new movie. And it's great. It's a great, very fun, entertaining film if you like micro budget filmmaking.
And it's got Lita.
It's got Lita, the wrestling star. Is that
Yeah.
right? Yeah. She's amazing. Bill Victor Akurin is in it, and he's an amazing actor. I worked with him on a movie titled Appetite for Sin, and which is directed by Matthew Vanaha. And hopefully, I don't think it's going to come out before the end of the year. I think they're going to release a teaser trailer in October. But I started acting myself. Hey, if anybody is out there is a director, please put me in one of your films. You can reach me on Facebook. And I got a chance to play a lead role in Appetite for Sin, and Bill was one of my acted with me in one of the scenes, and we have good chemistry. He's a good actor. I like working with Bill. I look forward to working with Bill more. Yeah, in front of the camera.
Appetite for Sin. Now I recognize that name. I'm not seeing it come up here. I know somebody in. Is Eileen Dietz in that?
Eileen Dietz is in this film.
Okay.
Ari Lehman is in the film. And there's quite a few people in the film. Devaney Pinn is in the film. Let me see else. I'm in the movie. And all the lead actresses. Missy's last name I want to say is
Moon.
Missy. Oh gosh, she's gonna kill me for it. I want to say it's. Oh, let me see here. Let me Google it. Anyways, but yeah, no, it's a vampire, kind of like a vampire, sexy vampire chick movie with mixed with Law and Order. And I get to play the lead LA detective. Let me see here. I'm going to go Appetite for Sin. This is IMDb. I'm sure it's up. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. And let's see. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, it doesn't have a. Does it have? Oh, here you go. Yeah. Sean C. Phillips is in it. Eva Hamilton's in it. Robert Mukes is in it from House of a Thousand Corpses. Eileen Deed, Stephanie Penn, Mike Ferguson. Let's see here. Oh, good God. Now, wait a minute. Let's see. Let's see if I can. Ricky Herrera, who's one of my co-stars in Joseph Kelly, is a producer on the film. He did Clown Motel 1 and 2. Let's see here. God, I don't see the lead actress's name here. There's 4 people. Here we go. No, I don't see it. I know her name is Missy. And like I said, she's gonna hate me for it. Let's see. Oh, Missy Sahagan. Yep.
Okay.
G. Larry Butler's in it. David Thomas Newman's in it. It's got quite a few people in the film, and of course, I'm in it, and I play one of the leads. Finally get my name on the movie poster as an actor. I've been wanting to act for a very long time. After working in the industry for 40 years, and I've been on a lot of low budget movies. And no offense, but after I've had 40 years of studying what not to do, watching people act good and act bad. Everybody is a great example, some of what to do and some of what not to do. I've had 40 years of acting classes watching people act. And a little over a year ago, I decided, hey, I want to do this. I know I can do this, and I know I can do it really good. So I got this job doing the special effects for this film, and I straight up asked the director, Matthew Vanaha. I said, Matthew, I want to be in it. I want a lead role. I know I can act. I know I can do this good. And he cast me as the lead detective in the film. And so I immediately started to develop my character, and I put down some cash, and I took a professional acting class here in Hollywood. And after being in this acting class for a month, I realized either you know how to act or you don't. There is no in between. You either know what you're doing or you don't. And the teacher of the class, he was good, but he didn't teach me anything I didn't already know. And I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I know a lot of actors do. So I'm just like doing the deal, and I'm a damn good actor. I'm a really good actor. And then after I did Appetite for Sin, I was immediately cast in another movie with Eric Roberts and Michael Pare. It's a werewolf film that we shot in Florida called The Beast Comes at Midnight. And it's a very cool film. I mean, it's probably going to be one of the best films I've ever worked on in my entire life. And I think it's PG-13. So that's a new one for me. And I play the beast. I play the man who turns into the beast in the film. And it's just a real honor and a privilege to be able to be cast in a big film with a real budget. And not that everybody doesn't have a budget, but yeah, it had a big budget, and I got a chance to do some real acting. So I'm looking forward to doing that a little more in the future.
Well, I met Linnea Quigley at Horrorama 2018. Got her to sign my Silent Night, Deadly Night Blu-ray, and got a couple pictures and got a picture taken with her. And then I had her on the following year on my birthday. And I know she told me, and I believe it's a film that you're involved with, she gets drenched in fake blood.
Yes. Okay. Yes. It's The Barn 2. Yeah. And that's directed by Justin Seaman and shot, and also I think it's co-produced in some way by Zane Hirschberger. And they both produced and put together The Barn 1. And now we have The Barn 2 coming out. And that's really going to be a really fun film as well. And yeah, I got to totally drench Linnea in blood in the film. I think I did like 3 takes of it. We just kept adding more blood. She had to see as a chainsaw, and and her hair and the whole bit. And she was a good sport. I think I have a picture of it somewhere. Yeah. And yeah. I really love working with Linnea. She's a real special treat to work with.
I'm gonna see her this fall. She's gonna be at Frightmare in the Falls, and that's um, finally after 2 years. I'm gonna get to go to a convention again, you know. But I do have one of your movies here, and I've interviewed a few people out of it.
Which one is that? Oh, okay, yeah. That movie's directed by Chad Farron, and I'm the visual effects supervisor for the film. And Exorcism at 60,000 feet, and that has Adrian Barbeau and Bill Moseley and Kelly Marone.
Oh yeah, I like her.
Kelly's in it, and the list goes on and on. I mean, there's so much name talent in that film. Anyways, yeah, that was a fun film. That movie was shot in, like, I think 2017, 2018. And
Well, I've interviewed Barbeau, and she has an interesting scene with a cat in this movie. Or no, a dog.
it's a dog. Yeah, it's a taxidermied dog. Yeah. I have a, let me see. Do I have a, I think I, let me see here. Exorcism at 60,000. Let me see if it'll come up.
I had Barbeau on the show back in 2015. I absolutely love her, you know.
Super sweet lady, and very talented as well. And she I knew that I was only gonna, there's a scene in the film where she gets scalped, and I knew that I was only gonna have, like, I wasn't gonna have much time to do what I really wanted to do with, like, a scalp and blending and stuff in her hair and this, that, and the other. That was not gonna fly on this film. I was gonna have to do something very innovative and quick, right? And so I made a little hat that we could just put on her to make it look like she was scalped, and with another hair piece. And I really couldn't glue the hat down, and the animal had to rip it off her head. So I had to have this little contraption with some wires that went underneath her hair, and I had an assistant hold it down in the back, and then I was going to put a little blood on her head to come down and running down into her face, and I put a little bit there, and then we did a take, and the director was like, okay, that's not really doing what I want, and he's like, you put a little bit more blood, Joe, and so I put a little bit more, and I was being very sensitive about it, and finally on the last take, the director just kind of like winks at me like, do it, and I literally just poured a cup of blood on her head and ran away. And she did the take, and they loved it. And then she said, Joe, what did you put in my hair? And and I was like, and I pointed at the director. I said, he made me do it. And but yeah, no, she's a lovely lady, totally professional, super kind, and made me feel amazing and awesome to work with her and be with her on set. It's such an honor, total bucket list moment. And I can't find the picture. I have a picture of working with her on Exorcism at 60,000 feet, and for some reason I can't find it. Let me see if it'll come up. Oh, it's called Fly Zone. That's why. I have it listed differently. Let me see here. Let's see here. And there should be one with Adrian. Let me see. It's still loading. No, I don't see it. Anyways, the director had sent me a couple of really good. Let me see. Yeah. Well, originally the movie was called Fly Zone, and it's Lance Henriksen's in it as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and let's see who else is in. There's a whole bunch of people.
He was a pilot. Yeah, I'm gonna bring up some other names, because one other person I've interviewed from this film. Actually, I've interviewed a couple of other people. Brad Server, I've interviewed.
Bradley Server, yeah.
Yeah.
Brad, he's the son of
Curly.
Curly, yeah. And from the Three Stooges. Yeah, he was a super kind man as well. Yep.
And I've interviewed Kelly Maroney, who
Kelly Maroney.
I think she's beautiful. Her husband's really nice guy. Always wishes me happy birthday on my birthday.
Yeah.
Kelly, this year, I ordered a copy of Chopping Mall on Blu-ray, and not only did she sign it, but she sent me a message with a picture of her holding up the signed copy.
Nice. That's she's super sweet. I worked with her recently on a movie titled Nightcaller, which is going to have she's just now making the festival circuit. We shot it this past year,
Mhm.
and she's in it. And when I was on set with her, I pulled her aside and I said, Kelly, I want you to know, the night of the comet came out, I think it was 1983, I want to say 1984.
Yeah.
I was 14, and my mother my mother was going shopping that day, and she took me to the theater, dropped me off. Back then you would buy a ticket and you would see the movie twice. You didn't have it on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, so
Mhm.
you would watch as many times as you could for the ticket price. And I watched it twice that day, and I told her, I says, and here I am working with you on set. And it's just amazing how the universe brings, you work at long enough, hard enough, you end up beginning to really accomplish your dreams. And it was a real honor to work with her, on set. And I've worked with her, like I said, a couple of times, and she's just super talented and such a doll. Yeah.
Loved
Love
her in Fast Times at Ridgemont High as
her.
the cheerleader. Um, yeah, she had. I thought this was funny. Who's the what? How do I say little person or dwarf or
Yeah. Sammy the Dwarf.
Sammy the Dwarf?
Yeah.
I thought was fun. I'm like, are they really going for this? She refers to Sammy as her son, and there's a scene in it where she's breastfeeding him, and you can hear the slurred noises.
Yeah, that shot, in that shot, I had to CGI that. I did that. I CGI'd that shot. There wasn't an actual shot of him doing that, so I took his head from another shot and CGI'd it going over to her breasts. It's kind of odd when you watch it, but it's funny. It's a comedy, so
Hmm.
it works. But yeah. That was the director, Chad Farron, and the producer Robert Ryan, gave me, I think I did 122 visual effects shots for that film, and I did all the practical effects on set. So but yeah, that was one of those
I
memorable
thought that was
bucket
funny.
list
I, I'm
films.
I'm surprised there wasn't a scene in it where she took him to the washer and put diaper on him.
uh, I'm sure if they had some time they would have done that. But yeah, I did find the picture of Adrian and I on set. Let me see if I can find it right here. No, here it is right here. Let me see here. I'm going to open it, and then I'm going to come over here to you, and I'm going to go screen share, and then I'm going to pick up this one, and I'm going to share that. There I am, working with Adrian Barbeau on Exorcism at 60,000 feet. And I'm puppeteering this taxidermied dog, this Pomeranian dog that
Look at
they
that
actually,
outfit she has on.
yeah. They actually brought a Pomeranian to set and had it run around the set for cutaways, and then I made this little taxidermy dog that she actually had like in her purse, and she had on her lap. And in the film, there's an evil spirit floating around this plane, and it goes into this dog and reanimates it, and it rips off her scalp at one point. Yeah, so that's an awesome shot. There's a bucket list moment right there. Yeah.
Did you keep the puppet or did you let her have it?
No, I kept it. I kept everything for that. Yep, I got it. I got it. So yeah, you
No,
know, I
I love Kelly Maroney, the hottest cheerleader since Tony Basil. But
she's
yeah,
like a she's like a sister to me, so I'm not going to comment on that. I figure I just I work. We pour our heart and soul into. When I say we, I mean the people here, especially the people that work in the independent film world here in Hollywood. We pour our heart and soul into everything we do to make everything so special and so good. I just feel like we become so close. I'm like family with these people. In fact, I'm closer to most of these people than I am with my actual blood relatives. And my blood relatives, they're in Texas. they don't really understand what I do. They have their own, you know, their own plan, their own lifestyle, their own dreams, you know, and they really never, you know, appreciated what I did, and
I do.
I don't expect them to. You know, I thank you very much for saying that, and I don't expect them to, and I just but I do respect what they do, regardless of whether or not they respect what I do, and I just know that the people here that I'm close with and I make movies with, you know, truly respect what they do, and they try to make something special each time they make a movie, you know, and not everybody does that. Not everybody's interest is making something special. A lot of people are interested in just doing things for to be famous or to make money or whatever it is. But that's these lifers that we're talking about and that I'm working with. We're lifers in the business. We're really, you know, when you have a talent and then you're able to use that talent to make other people feel special about themselves, it says a lot about the person. And that's what these people do. You know, they like Kelly and Brink and Debbie and Linnea and you know, it's all these women and these actors that are just amazing examples of making everybody feel a part of, you know. So I think everybody wants to feel a part of something special, you know what I mean? And that's what they do. Felissa Rose, you know, working with Felissa.
I'm going to meet Felissa at Frightmare for the first time, and I'm looking forward to meeting her because I'm going to be to pitch my show. I was connected to her through Sandy Johnson of Halloween, and plus I get to show her the Doubtfire Face Challenge for suicide and depression awareness that Sandy did, and where she nominated Felissa Rose. So
okay,
yeah. So
I wonder if I can go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to meeting Felissa. It'll be my first time meeting her, but we're in several films together.
She's
like,
such a sweet, talented woman. She just makes the world a better place. That's all I have to say about her, and I love working with her. Here is a picture of me and Lance from.
There you go.
Yeah, we weren't really allowed to take pictures on set, but this was off the set. This was outside the set. I said, Lance, I got to get a picture with you. You know, so that right there is a bucket list moment, and this man's really talented. Such a great spirit, and it's such an honor to work with that man.
Absolutely. You get any pictures of you with Kelly?
I do have a picture of me with Kelly from the premiere of Pretty Boy, which was directed by Marcel Waltz. Have you heard of it? It stars Jed Rowan and Robert Russler's in it.
Okay.
From Vamp and Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And oh gosh, so many people are in it. Devaney Pinn and like I said, Jed and I forget. So many people. They're gonna hate me. But anyways, it's coming out, Pretty Boy, and but we had the world premiere here recently, and Kelly came to the world premiere, and I thought, you know, I don't know why I didn't think to take one with her on set. You know, I guess because like when you're in it and you're just working, it's sometimes you just I don't know. You know, I can't tell you how many times I kicked myself. Like I worked with Karen Black. Why didn't I take a picture with? Well, this was way before cell phones, so it wasn't as easy. I didn't even bring a camera to set. I work with Michael Berryman. I don't have a picture with him.
I'm going to meet him at Frightmare as well.
And I worked with Pat Morita. From the original Karate Kid. I didn't have a camera. Or, you know, I did. The list goes on and on and on. Even people like Beyonce, Christina Aguilera, and I was on set with them, and I didn't think to take a picture. I don't know what it is. Sometimes it's just in the moment, and I'm busy doing my job. And I don't. I'm trying to do the best I can to move forward in my career, and sometimes those opportunities just don't present themselves. Like like also working with Kane Hodder and Robert Lasardo. That was a real honor. But I need to mention a couple of other people. I know we're winding down to the end of the hour, but I want to mention some directors and some people we need to look out for. Of course, there's Matthew Vanaha, the director of Appetite for Sin. He has a new campaign coming out called The Envy of Everyone, which is a kind of an 80s throwback slasher movie. You can look up Matthew Vanaha. And then, of course, there's Robert Restro and Stephen Rears and Stephen Escobar.
Yes, he directed The Dead End, which
The Dead
I'm a
End.
co-producer on.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
so there's that film, and with Kane Hodder and Felissa Rose and Robert Lasardo in it, and of course I do all the zombie effects for the film. And then there's Marcel Waltz, who just is releasing Pretty Boy right now, and with Jed Rowan and Robert Russler and Devaney Pinn and so many other talented actors and actresses in the film. And then of course you have Justin Seaman in The Barn 2. Let's see, Nightcaller, directed by Chad Farron, who also directed Exorcism at 60,000 Feet. Let's see, I just worked with a man, his name is Rick Medved, and he's making his directorial debut in a new movie called Zombiegeddon. It's going to be an amazing film, and it stars Jason Brooks as the lead creature in the film. And of course, I built the creature for the movie. Probably one of the biggest things I've done in my career. And then, of course, there's Christopher Jackson, the director of a movie titled "The Beast Comes at Midnight," and it's produced by I'm going to mess up their names, even though Ed McKeever and Todd Oifer. And this was produced out in Florida, and it stars Eric Roberts and Michael Pere from Bad Moon, the werewolf film. And of course, I also star in the film with them, and I play and I built the creature, the werewolf, for the movie. It's a werewolf film, so that's a really cool stuff to watch out for. And as I was going through a whole bunch of stuff, there's so many other things that I can't post any pictures of this stuff online, that I'm waiting for stuff to come out. But check out my Facebook page. There's a lot of cool stuff there. And as soon as I get the green light to show some other stuff, I will. I'm scrolling through my pictures to see what else has come up recently. Oh, there's Alien Vampire Busters, directed by Rob Demir. It stars Felissa Rose, Mike Ferguson, Andy Dick is in it, Eric Roberts is in it, Chauncey Phillips is in it. And then let me see here. We have a movie called Sitting Duck, directed by Aaron Baracus and produced by Michael and Sophia. And let me see here. What else we got? Oh, yeah. Oh, can't forget to mention Shane Bradford has a new movie titled Country Club, and it's his directorial debut. It was shot in Texas. And it's kind of like a throwback to the 80s. And it's got something to do with barbecue and human beings. How about that? That's all I'm going to say about that. Great combination. And let me see. Anything else? Terror Tunes 4. Look out for that. And what else we got here? Oh, of course, we got James Balsamo's Alien Danger Part 1 and Part 2. Oh, and also we're doing a take of a movie called La Chusa, which is a Mexican folklore in Texas. And that's directed by Chuck Silver. And that go on and on and on and on. I've had an amazing past 2-3 years, and worked on a lot of films, and there's been a lot of cool stuff coming out.
There's two other people I got to bring up in Exorcism at 60,000 Feet because they were so funny, and that is Matthew Moy and Bei Ling. Those two were so good in this film.
yeah. Matthew's a super sweet man. Bei Ling is a very talented woman. I really didn't converse with her that much, even though I blew powder in her face at one point to represent fire extinguisher, and got a chance to do some things with her. But there was a lot going on in that film, a lot going on in that movie. I'm definitely looking forward to working with him more if I get the chance. But Matthew Moy was, he is super professional, talented actor, and he really carried the film, all the scenes. He was a pivotal actor that carried that whole film. I think he did a fantastic job. Yeah.
What was Sammy the Dwarf like?
Well, if you really want to know, I did not get along with him on set at all.
Oh,
in fact, he was very unprofessional and inappropriate on set to me, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I'm sorry to hear that. I never heard of him before. In fact, it was only through Kelly Maroney and her Facebook, because anytime Kelly posts something, I go check it out. But that was how I discovered Sammy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure he has his own challenges being an actual, I don't even know what the PC term is, dwarf, but and that's all I have to say about that. He's got his own challenges, and we're all human. We all fall down at least once or twice, and but yeah, I tried not to interact with him as much as possible, and said, there's always when you have so many characters on set and so many talented people in one room, there's bound to be some sort of friction and controversy, and working with Sammy and myself there was one, that was one,
Mhm.
and but there you go, we got through it, we're here.
Yep. Well, you still made a really good movie. I was very entertained by this.
It was a big production. It was actually written. The first draft of the script was written by my good friend Dan Benton, who
Mhm.
I've made several films with, and I know Robert and Chad did their own own versions of it. And the movie was being rewritten as the movie was shot. There were things that went down in the film. Like there was a scene where a guy has sex with a demon possessed girl in the bathroom of the airplane, and he melts. And originally,
Yep.
I told the director I needed 2 hours to do the entire effect, and when it came down to shooting it, he said, "Joe, you have 15 minutes." And most people will say, "Oh, that guy doesn't know what he's doing." And what I did was I ran over to the craft service table and I grabbed salad dressing and cups of coffee, and I poured it on his head with my special effects, and they got what they needed, and I got a standing ovation from the crew when it was done. And the director and the producer came over to me and said, "Joe, thank you for only you could have done that and made that magic so fast." So yeah, it was that's what they do. They bring me in, and I have to sometimes produce things that most people find impossible on a limited budget for a very short period of time. So yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, when the Terror Toons, the four of them come out on Blu-ray and they're in that box set, I want to get a signed and I'll pay for it. I have no problem doing that, but I'd love to get signed by you.
It would be an honor, and I will definitely make that happen. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I'd
yeah,
be happy to do that.
yeah.
And of course, It Wants Blood. I'm looking forward to when it arrives so I can see it. But I love what I've seen of your work in that so far,
Yeah. Some
and I
fun stuff in
enjoyed
there.
your work in this as well.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I'll be checking out more of your work. I'll definitely check out your work with Kelly Maroney. I like Kelly. Who doesn't
Super,
like Kelly?
super sweet. Yep, love
Yeah.
working with her. So, listen, I have three more films already on my plate at the moment. I'm
Hmm.
doing a movie called Saving. God, I already forgot the name of it. That would be something. Let me see. Hold on a second.
That's
It's called.
okay.
Let me
I
see. Let
think
me
I
see.
figured up
Hold
here.
on, let me see. Hold on. Ian. It's called. It's called. Saul. It's called Saving Saul. No, it's called Sincerely Saul. Sincerely Saul. I'm making something special for this movie called Sincerely Saul, and it's being directed by Ian Tripp. I'm also working with a woman named Nancy O'Brien, and it is a kind of a giallo slasher movie. And I'm
Okay.
doing all the blood and some special props for that as well.
Hmm.
And there's another one. I forget what it is. I got that on my plate. So I'm literally going to, when this interview is done, I'm going to get up and go and start finishing up a prop. I have I like to work really closely with directors when I make these things. So as I produce them and I create them, I like to send them pictures of the piece as it progresses forward. So that way, if at any point something needs to be changed, it can be altered or changed in a way that the director finds it necessary. So that way, because I really want to, basically I'm an extension of the director. I go into the director's mind and extract
Hmm.
what's there and produce it. And I want them to be really involved in everything. Some directors, they like that to a certain extent. And then at some point they're like, "Joe, just use your judgment. I trust you. Do your thing." James is good with that. And James
Hmm.
comes to me with a design But at some point, he's like, Joe, just use your best judgment and move forward with that. But I do like to work closely with directors. And there are directors out there watching this. I'm very easy to work with. Check out my website, which is joecastrofx.com, and that's fx.com. But anyway, so I got to get out there and get back to it, making movie magic for everyone to see. Greg, I really appreciate you having me on the show tonight, and I hope you have an amazing holiday season this year.
Yep, it was fascinating having you come on here again. And you know what? Next year, maybe around this time, I'll have you back.
That would be an honor and a privilege.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. I look forward to that. We haven't touched on your Facebook thing there on
Oh, the group.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, very important. If you are a film director, producer, come and join. Well, you have to. You actually, I have a Facebook group. It's called Worldwide Film Distributors to Stay Away From and Why. It's a very special group. It's a very, very special group. It's special because it's a private group. You have to be a friend of someone in the group in order to be invited to the group. You cannot find the group blindly. You cannot do a search for the group. And it's a group where everybody is free to express themselves without any sort of retaliation, as long as you follow the rules of the group. And the group is basically an information group where you can find actual true world experiences of how film directors and producers have distributed their films through different companies, and you can hear and read and learn about their actual experiences with these companies. And like what one of the group rules is, if you've never had a film distributed, you really are not supposed to comment on any of the posts, because we want hard facts. And let's say, for instance, you're a friend of a distributor and you want to stick up for them. You're not really allowed to comment if you're a friend of theirs, unless you have a written contract with them and have had an actual professional experience with a distributor. So I invite all kinds of people to the group. There's some special effects artists in there, there's actors in there and whatnot, and you're more than welcome to be in the group, but you're really not allowed to comment unless you actually had experiences with them. And that's what makes the group special, because all the information there is factual based information. There's nothing, we don't really express opinions in the group. It's all about what's happened, what's going on. We provide like Better Business Bureau links, actual emails, actual firsthand experiences of how these distributors operate, hopefully to prevent young filmmakers or newbies that come into the business from being ripped off or exploited by these predatory distributors. Yeah. So if you want to be a part of the group, you have to come find me on
I
Facebook.
already am. I think you invited me.
Yeah. Well, like, you can invite your friends to the group, and I will, of course, I'll have to approve them. But if you want to be invited to the group and you're watching this podcast, what you have to do is come and find me on Facebook, or find Greg on Facebook and ask us to be friends. You have to be friends with us, and then we can invite you to the group. But it's a very interesting group, because everybody can really express yourself, and it's a lot of really good information in the group.
Yep, I follow it. Yep. Well, Joe, it was wonderful having you on here tonight, and talking about your projects, the Toon movies, Exorcism at 60,000 feet, and of course, It Wants Blood, which I'm looking forward to seeing. Yeah.
I hear they're doing It Wants Blood too.
Yeah, I'd love to be involved, but financially, I'm in a tough spot, to be able to do it, because I had to get a new car this year and a bunch of stuff. So I haven't been able to help with any of these projects, and
Well, I'll put out some good mojo for you. Hopefully things will evolve where you get to do more things that you want to do with the films out here and the films all over the world, and you can participate in bigger ways. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Very good. Before I let you go, would you mind doing a plug for my show?
Absolutely.
Just state your name and so you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
Hi, this is Joe Castro, special effects artist and director of independent horror films, and you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python. I'm sorry, what is it again?
Python's Paradise.
Python's Paradise. Python's Paradise. Okay. You know, every time I have to do one of these things, even when I do it on my phone for like a little promo, it probably takes me like 50 times to do it. Let me see if I can do this again. Now you put me on the spot. Here we go. Hi, this is Joe Castro, special effects artist and Hollywood film director, and you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
Absolutely. There you go. And we all love Kelly Maroney.
And we love Kelly Maroney. Yes.
Yes.
And Brink Stevens and Linnea Quigley and Debbie Rashawn and Felissa Rose and Devaney Penn and all the Eva Hamilton and all the beautiful, wonderful people out there that we love so much that make us feel so special.
I'll be seeing Linnea and Felissa this fall. So there you
tell
go.
them I said hello. Tell them Joe Castro says hello and yeah. So, all right, Greg, have a beautiful evening. Thank you, sir. Happy Halloween. If I don't talk to you before then.
Oh, you'll probably be talking to me before then. Yeah.
Okay. Have an amazing Halloween season.
I'll be watching what you're doing on Facebook.
Excellent. All right. Good night, brother.
Yeah, you take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.